Shabbat Shalom and welcome to Israel Update. I have the amazing Doobie Sabo with me here. He's joining me from Israel. Doob, Shabbat Shalom.
Hi, everybody. Shabbat Shalom, Christie.
Now, obviously, the things that we're talking about, looking forward to, is that next week President Trump gets inaugurated, and that's going to be a big deal for everybody watching now. Donna and I are going to be going live on Tuesday to talk about this as we see this amazing prophecy of Kim's that seemed impossible come to pass about a president at the helm for 2 terms. It seemed impossible, but now we're watching it happen. But Dubes, the thing that everybody's talking about, people are reaching out to me. And for everybody who's watching, we recorded this on Thursday, obviously, because we need time for production for the show. But the thing that everybody's talking about is this hostage deal. Now, I know that on paper it sounds great. Oh, there's a deal that's been reached. But when I read through the terms of the proposed deal, and obviously now, as of the time of this recording, Hamas has already dialed back. And the U.S. announced and different places announced that a deal had been reached. But now Hamas is already backpedaling from what I've seen, but also the terms of it, Dupes. Why don't we talk about that?
Well, this deal is probably the most complicated agreement ever been signed between Israel and any of their
Yeah.
foes.
Yeah.
It's, according to most Israelis, the only real justification for this deal is the hope to release some of the hostages alive and to spare
Yeah.
lives of the people. And it's just like taking a mortgage. You pay, you take a loan. This loan is not with money; it's with blood. Because what you say, I'm going to move into the new home, and how I'm going to pay later. And the
Yeah.
situation now is that you're going to save the lives of some of these people, hostages, which obviously it's very painful to everyone in the country and especially their families and all the protesters and everybody that has been, marching in the streets and wanting them to be released immediately for any price. But the payment will come. The condition is the release of thousands
Yes.
of very well-trained Hamas operatives, including those who's been in the Israeli prisons for years and been sentenced for life.
Yeah.
You're talking about an army of trained that are going to be released back into the streets. And we know that the only thing they know how to do is to kill Israelis. This is going to be their only goal. They're not afraid of the Israeli prisons because they know that we don't have capital sentences in Israel. So, they know that what can happen. They go back to prison. They'll get another degree from the university. They're going to have 3 meals a day. They're going to have a gym. They're going to have families to come and visit them.
Yeah.
In some of the prisons, the conditions in Israel is better than the places where they live.
Yes.
When they're normally at home. So these people are not afraid to go back into crime and back into terrorism. And I just want you to know that there's so many protesters now in Israel, mainly amongst military reservists, Israeli reservists, because the regular army, the young military, the professional ones cannot really protest. But the reservists are citizens. So once they're not in active duty, they can come and protest. And they are protesting big time. They're coming strongly against this deal. They're saying that the mortgage that we're taking will cost lives of hundreds of Israelis, if not thousands, in the days to come. Because we have seen what happened with Bini, already released 1,027 terrorists, many of them with blood on their hands for Gilad Shalit 12 years ago, for one soldier. They're seeing what's going to happen right now. You're going to get thousands of new Sinwars coming back into the streets of Israel. Hamas has been recently able to recruit more and more operatives in the midst of so-called Israeli attacks, because we are very careful about who we're attacking and where we're attacking, with the fear that they might be terrorists over there or that the international community are going to come against us. And these Hamasniks are installing themselves again inside hospitals and schools and kindergartens, and also in the safe zone, so-called, that we let people to be evacuated so we're not going to harm them.
Yeah.
They're taking over the supplies of the so-called humanitarian aid, and they're stocking this in their tunnels. So the situation is that Hamas is getting stronger as Israel is going to get weaker, and that's in the righteous deal for the return of innocent people. Many of
Who
them
should
are
never have been taken.
citizens and civilians, but it happened. And obviously, everybody blames the pressure that is being put upon Israel by the new American administration now, even though we know that the President Trump is going to support Israel should the Hamas will breach the deal and Israel will have to go and operate again in Gaza. I know we're going to get all the backup, but then on the other hand, he wants to come into his presidency without wars. He wants to finish the wars as fast as he can. And therefore, he's saying, you know what? You take this mortgage right now. You release them and let's see what's going to happen. Hamas is not afraid of him. They don't care about all these promises that all hell will break loose or whatever he says. Because, these people are determined. These are suicidal people.
They're not afraid of death.
This is their jihad. So they're not afraid of death at all. So you can't really threaten them with this. When you say all hell will break loose, it's going to break loose on the citizens of the Palestinians, that many of them are just civilians, even though they support Hamas and they voted for Hamas. And just the last polls that they did within the Palestinian authorities, not even in Gaza, within the Palestinian authorities, 85% of the Palestinians are in favor of October 7th. So you understand this demonic entity that we're fighting against. And then everybody says, no, give them a state. They want to give a Palestinian state.
It's insane.
Miles from the largest center of Jewish people in the world, which is, the Dan district and Tel Aviv and Jerusalem.
Yes.
There are many, many issues with this bad deal. And a lot of families, even of people that are captured in Gaza,
they
recognize many families of soldiers that died in this war in the attempt to release the hostages and fight back against the raid of Hamas. They object and resent this deal. And we are on the verge of a situation that even the Israeli government might fall in the next few days because of the very right parties that are part of the government, and they resent this deal. And they say that if Israel is not going to get back to fighting until they're going to finally and totally destroy the Hamas and their ability to govern, they're not going to stay in any government, and they're going to push towards doing that. So that's the situation right now.
Like you were saying, Doobs, this is the situation, and even people who are suffering directly, families, they're aware of the fact that this is a problem. And none of us can forget about the fact that so much of what happened on October 7th was linked to the release of those Palestinian prisoners 12 years ago. And I don't want to say prisoners, I want to say terrorists. They were Palestinian terrorists who were prisoners, rightfully so. But what do you do with a group of people who aren't afraid of death, who aren't afraid of consequence, who basically have no fear of anything around them? How do you control people like that? It's not a normal mentality.
I think that they are unafraid of death as a declaration because they don't really face death. Because Israel is not executing terrorists, but there's a lot of pressure also within the Israeli politics to go forward with the law, because in the law we do have death penalty, and to try to apply it to some of these people and to see and check what will be their sentiment after that. But there are all kinds of different reasons why they don't do that, and obviously you haven't seen any army that knocks on the ceilings, on the roofs, and throws pamphlets, and call the people and send text messages and draw maps where it's safe or not before they even attack. So it's a different type of warfare that Israel is conducting, and And I think that with this type of war, we only doom to continue this war for years and years and years, instead of just doing what needs to be done, as hard as it hurts, as hard as it sounds, but with the right amount of determination that will end this. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying cruelty, but I'm saying determination, that even in the Jewish scriptures, it says, whoever comes to kill you, you should go ahead and kill them first. God only helps those who wants to help themselves. And God gave this land in our hands, and God gave us the gifts of freedom and democracy and the beauty of this land. And there are all kinds of different elements in our politics that wants to give land to the Arabs and wants to give them more rights and wants to have a two-state solution. And it's only encouraging hopes within the terrorists that they can decide that if they're going to attack us as much as they do, maybe we will surrender and give up, and there'll come a government that will give them everything they want. And the reason that you heard that Hamas is folding back from some parts of the agreements and so on, because now they want to put pressure to release archi-terrorists, mega-terrorists that will be symbols to the Palestinians, like Barghouti and like the brother of Sinwar, and all these people that they want to claim victory over the situation, which they already claim. You hear already what happened now. The Prime Minister of Qatar, together with the new leader of Syria, this Daesh, this ISIS terrorist, they call Israel to withdraw from the southern Golan, the Syrian southern Golan, because they say that Israel has no right to be there. But Israel had all the rights to be there when all the operatives of Hezbollah and Iran and all these people installed themselves and build up a militia next to our borders. We want to first and foremost learn about the nature of this new regime in Syria, because we're going to release them and let them go and take charge over the land, and then we're going to face another enemy from another front. So Israel is still in a war, even though they speak about a deal, but
not everything is as it seems.
Come out of this, and I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong, and I want to be saying that maybe this will bring some kind of peace, and the enemies will realize that they cannot take us out by war, and maybe they'll come to the table with other ideas. But
well, Dubes, thank you so much for joining me. Everybody out there, please keep praying, as always, for God's divine intervention in this instance, because at the end of the day, the heart of God beats for Israel. And what we need is Israel secure, safe, and her citizens protected. That is the goal here. And so pray for wisdom for President Trump coming in, pray for wisdom for Bibi Netanyahu, and let's just continue praying for the peace of Jerusalem. We'll see you next week post Trump's inauguration, and you will hear from us then. But in the meantime, do not stop praying. We love you. God bless you. We'll see you next week. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Hello, friends. I'm Donna Clement Petrushka, and I am honored to invite you to something truly extraordinary, the Kim Clement Prophecy Vault. Now you can gain unprecedented access to my father's entire digitized video archive. Every prophetic moment, every powerful teaching, every anointed worship session is now available to you in the Prophecy Vault. Plus, I'm excited to share that my dad's special School of the Prophets teachings are included, offering you deep, transformative lessons on hearing God's voice and understanding his revelations. Your partnership is crucial. Not only will you gain access to these incredible resources, but you'll also help us continue the vital work of preserving, digitizing, and adding new Kim Clement material to the archives. I'm inviting you to step into the Kim Clement Prophecy Vault. Let's embark on this journey of revelation together, and I can't wait to see you inside.
Today, we are going to be talking about the topic, should I accept my weaknesses? And I said weaknesses plural for a reason, because I, for one, have many.
We love Christianity because it's such a transparent relationship with God. And like you said, we all have so many weaknesses.
Fear has cousins, so all fear is cast out, right? And then so I wrote, the path you are walking on, I have already walked for you. And if you doubt that you are on my path, well, seek me and pray.
Watch now at real-faith.tv.
Just like all of you, I had problems sleeping. I had tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. I'd flip-flop all night, use my arm for support and fall asleep, or I'd wake up with a sore neck or maybe a headache. Well, quality sleep comes from keeping your neck straight at night. You have to fill in that space between your head and your bed. That's why I invented My Pillow. My Pillow's patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs, and it doesn't matter if you sleep on your back, stomach, side, or any combination of all three.
When I got My Pillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night, and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get Classic King My Pillows for only $19.98. Queen size just $18.98. Standard Classic My Pillows only $14.98. That's right, only $14.98. Plus all orders $75 or more ship absolutely free.
We here at the House of Destiny are partnering with you to let our viewers, of course, know about your company. It's Beverly Hills Precious Metal.
Andrew, explain how that works.
So I'll walk you through it right now. So if you go to bh-pm.com, right there on the homepage, you'll see a form that you could fill out. And that form is very important in letting us know how we can help you. So you just put in your first name, last name, email address, phone number. There's a section that says, how did you hear about us? And in there, put Kim Clement. And then there's a portion where you could write a couple of notes down on the bottom. Usually within about 24 to 48 hours, we'll contact you by phone call, and then we'll go over everything with you. This isn't a high pressure deal. We always recommend that if you feel uncomfortable, take a step back, pray about it. You will gain the answers that you need by doing that, and come back to us when you're comfortable.